Now it is official. Our people often say that a child that says the mother won't sleep, he himself will not sleep. Everybody has been begging Putin to reduce or end the war in Ukraine, having annexed the whole part of the eastern Ukraine. Yet it didn't stop. It kept bombing and bombing and bombing and bombing. Now Ukraine has sent drones into the heart of Russia to destroy nearly all of Russian airbase and destroyed at least 40 of its bomber planes that it used to bomb its own country, Ukraine. So Putin is now shamed. Now let's watch.
It was daring but sneaky, complicated yet simple in principle, and deadly but inexpensive. That probably sums up Ukraine's drone attack on Russia. It happened yesterday. We've seen nothing like it before. Drones flying out of parked trucks, Russian bombers engulfed in flames, and even bases in far-off Siberia damaged. How did Ukraine pull this off? What losses did Russia suffer? And how will Vladimir Putin respond? Let's break it down for you, starting with the attack. Ukrainian President Zelensky has said that it took 18 months to plan. 18 months of planning. The first step was picking the targets, and Ukraine chose to be very ambitious here. They wanted to hit Russia's bomber fleet. That's the Tu-95s and the Tu-22s. This is the bomber fleet. As the name suggests, these planes are used to drop bombs, both conventional and nuclear. And Ukraine decided to strike these Russian planes. Now look at this map. See how extensive it is, how widely spread the targets are. One is the Belaya base in Siberia. It is some 4,500 kilometers from the Ukrainian border, 4,500 kilometers. Another is the Olenia base. This one is located in Russia's Arctic region, almost 2,000 kilometers from Ukraine. So these are far-off targets for Kiev, and this is what they chose to strike. And that was step one, locking the targets. Step two, attacking them. Now we are talking about targets which are thousands of kilometers away, as you just saw. Ukraine does not have such long-range weapons, so they decided to use drones. Not military-grade attack drones, but simple FPV drones. FPV stands for first-person view. These are drones with a video remote control, so you can operate them from a distance. In fact, Ukraine has published some pictures. These are the drones they used against Russia. The same ones are used by social media influencers. If you go on Amazon, you could buy one of these drones. Of course, there is a difference. Kiev made them lethal. They used explosives so that the drones blew up on impact. That was step two, choosing to attack with drones. Step three, reaching the target. How do you do that? For this, Ukraine smuggled the drones into Russia. Then it smuggled special wooden boxes. Once both the drones and the boxes were inside Russia, they were put together. The drones were packed into the boxes. After that, they were loaded onto trucks. And here's something to note. None of this raised any suspicions. That's because it looked like routine activity. Hundreds of trucks probably crisscross Russia every day. So authorities completely missed the ones that were carrying Ukrainian drones. These trucks drove close to the bases that they were supposed to attack, and then it began. Ukraine used remote controls to open the boxes, and once the boxes opened, the drones simply flew out. It's hard to explain this in words. Here's an eyewitness video of what happened.
Где?
In total, Ukraine used 117 drones. Each drone had its own pilot, sitting thousands of kilometers away, guiding the weapon using a remote control. And now look at the impact, quite deadly. We have footage of the drone strikes. You can see the drone hovering over Russian bombers, then plunging into them and exploding. Take a look. Russia admitted that some of the planes caught fire, but they haven't given numbers. They also said that 3 other bases had been targeted, although those strikes were thwarted. Ukraine says it hit at least 40 Russian warplanes, 40, and 34% of Russian bombers. That is Ukraine's claim. It says their attack cost Russia up to $7 billion. If true, this is a massive setback for Moscow.
Just now, I received a report from head of the security service of Ukraine, Vasilia Maluka. A brilliant operation was carried out. It took place on enemy territory and was aimed exclusively at military targets, specifically, the equipment used in strikes against Ukraine. Russia suffered truly significant losses, entirely justified and deserved.
So there you have it. Russia, Putin will now know that I'll know how it feels when you encroach into a friendly country's territory and start buying the people and start taking their land by force. Now, in the battlefield, Russia seems to be winning. Russia has taken over nearly the whole eastern part of Ukraine. But yet, Russia keeps bombing to the extent that even the United States President Donald Trump, who has always been stylishly in support of, Putin, said that Putin has gone crazy. And when Donald Trump said that, and that he is the one that is just preventing Europe and the Western world from dealing with Putin, Putin's reply is that that would lead to Third World War, meaning that if they decide to deal with him based on his aggression in Ukraine, it will lead to Third World War. Now Ukraine has finished Russia. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. I remain your boy Ernest Omozokba Adebayo Okoje signing out.